are quite...
I've told you already, I don't go in for that kind.
But this event has come...
Hopes? That's odd, 'cause I don't
I mean...
But what? You're the event organizer, aren't... This far out from Mondstadt at this hour? Who knows?
Huh? Well, that can't be. People aren't like that.
Evidence decides what people are like, not your feelings. Maybe you're a little too trusting of other people. Don't fret, nobody's gonna blame you if you go back empty-handed. I can't imagine anyone else was delusional enough to think I was gonna show up. But if you dally any longer, you really won't make it.
You're right. It's a very important commemorative event. If I'm late, then... right, I've gotta get going.
Seems like that's Sister.
I thought I heard something.
We'd better watch out. She seems like a dangerous...
Oh, really? I'm a member of the long-standing Favonius Church. You're an eavesdropping pixie.
Wait, she heard that? Paimon was...
And as for this outlander, you seem to be the honorary knight that saved us from storm terror. Well then, given your status, I won't press. Otherwise, depending on your answer,
What? Do the Sisters of Mondstadt have the authority to arrest people now?
We can't go turning a blind eye to hidden dangers, can we?
That doesn't sound right. But Paimon can't...
Let's talk about you. What are you doing in the mountains? If it's him you're after, I made a point of noting his track. Many people have made their way up after the snowstorm.
So, are you also looking for him?
No, this is just a professional habit of mine. I sensed elemental traces in these tracks. I couldn't care what you think. Come on then, I'd like to see what he's...
Rosaria said there were elemental traces in the tracks. They should show up pretty clearly with elemental sight.
Is this an answer from this world?
Fry!
You know, little pixie, your ability to appear and disappear at will is very interesting.
Yeah?
After committing a crime, you'd be able to leave the scene without a trace.
You're so suspicious. Why is Paimon a criminal in your example?
Ida! This was well done! You need a hurry up!
This moment will be frozen in time.
Let's end this quickly! Toast and fry!
Be gone!
You need to hurry up! Takes time. This was well done! You need to hurry up!
It's getting colder and colder. Rosaria, aren't you freezing?
Me? I'm all right. I got used to operating in adverse conditions a long time ago.
Huh? Seems like there's more to being a sister in the Favonius Church than Paimon realized. Is that Albedo? What?
The word on the street is he loves painting. He'll hang around anywhere. The views and scenery here are pretty good. Potential paintings everywhere.
But can't he see those hilly churros? we startled them. Enough talk! Let's take them out of the picture first.
Maybe I wasn't meant for this world.
What's the hurry?
Who are you? Why did you alarm them? Thank the gods I'd already completed my painting. Would have been a shame to leave these particular...
What's up with painting hilly churls? What?
I'm afraid the answer isn't easy to explain. If you'd like to have a look at my painting, it may give you a clue.
Wow! Look at the detail!
You can find these hilly churls anywhere. Quite boring, in fact. Not worth closer inspection. But take a look at this specimen. The build, the coat, and there's a distinct force at work here. In the cyclical lives of such primitive communities.
Hold your horses. Something tells me we're in for a thesis and I haven't got the stamina. We found your man. I'm headed back.
What? Don't you have any... what a weirdo.
So Sister Rosaria brought you. Surprising. And I didn't have time to thank her. But back to the point.
We met a girl in Mondstadt, Sucrose. She said you...
I see. So Sucrose sent you here. Then, if I'm not mistaken, you must be the honorary... I've heard a bit of everything. Your actions during Storm Terror's attack. I'll skip to the conclusion. There's only one possibility after... Excellent. If I could procure your assistance, I think... forgive me. This must be confusing. Where should I begin?
Whoa. You want to start with that?
You're right. Giving a demonstration. For example, awakening life. Breathing new life into fallen leaves.
You can do that?
However, I have a particular seed in my possession. The method I'm talking about has produced... It's like you, in that it hails from another world. Helping it to grow, to bloom. That's the problem.
Well, if you're struggling...
I beg to differ. I'm unable to comprehend the intricacies of life outside of the... But you're not from the known world. By observing and researching you...
Shall we just get out of here? This sounds a little freaky.
It's possible. But I will do everything in my control to ensure you're... Time for a change of surroundings. We should be going.
Albedo and that traveler seem to have hit it off. Takes a weirdo to know one, I guess. I wonder, does this constitute...
Has a question. After...
I don't know. But I feel the importance will lie using alchemy to awaken after awakening. Still,
No! Paimon's got a brain! But what's the seed gonna be?
Well, if it turns out to be a delicious fruit...
Yay! Paimon's holding you to it.
Well, let's just say I, occasionally have to look after a child. The subject of my first research was the elements. In this world, manipulating the elements requires a vision. How you're able to freely manipulate elemental power is something I'd like to ascertain. Firstly, do you have any extra organs? A second heart? Fascinating. And this floating child is...
What a question. Can't you see the gap between us? And another thing, it's Paimon, not float.
I was merely considering the possibility that you were an external organ. Perhaps. Oh, that rules out that possibility. I wonder. But that would mean that Paimon's elemental power would be enough to break through a mountain rock at least 10 meters thick, or cause the waterfall south of Springville to flow backwards.
Hey, how would you?
In that case, it would appear that there's no obvious... Given that there's clearly a discrepancy in their research, it seems that only experimentation... Firstly, this mysterious elemental power. Let me lure a few slimes to the area. Perhaps you'd be able to...
Huh? Doesn't seem.
Direct and clear observation are imperative to a good experiment. This is just a simple exercise. Naturally, if you require a greater challenge, we could bring in 6 Oceanids.
Slimes! Slimes are fine!
Well, prepare yourself.
Try not to enjoy this too much. Come a little closer. You've been a naughty boy. Surrender and be gentle. Come a little closer. You're in for a little shock. You've been a naughty boy.
Let me weave you a verse.
Dodge this!
Rain outlines your fate.
You're in for a little shock. My.
No, my sword!
Come a little closer.
This is not the end.
You're in for a little shock. Come a little closer. You've been a naughty boy. Try not to enjoy this too.
Don't get frostbite. Freeze!
You're in for a little shock.
Rain outlines your fate. Rain cutter.
Come a little closer.
Great work. Did you feel any... If you're injured, I have a few emergency potions ready. Excellent. According to my observations, The Now that we know that the external flow is manifesting normally,
Internal flow?
it's very simple. I can use alchemy to create a potion that will... If the elemental power is stored or accumulated physically within your body, this potion may elicit an elemental reaction.
Sounds kind of...
Don't worry. In the normal...
And in the...
If anything unexpected occurs, I've made the... Well, it's not that there aren't any risks involved. But if there is... Just a warning. If an internal elemental reaction occurs for any other reason... Yes, that's an excellent way to think about it. It's a type of ore known as star silver. But I'll take you to my campsite. We can gather some stars. All going to plan. We should be able to begin...
Paimon's still got a few safety concerns, but it seems like... Let's keep our eyes open.
Cool it!
Here. Should do for catalyst purposes. This one. Usable with a bit of polish. What luck. This should be enough. My campsite is just up ahead. I'll lead the way. This is my campsite. I've added the materials we collect. While we are waiting, have a look over here. My assistant Timaeus here is helping me with my research.
Hello! I've just gotten hold of the data from your...
Whoa! Look at all the data! You got all these results from one slime battle?
I wouldn't call them results, inferences, and a few daring guesses, perhaps. I think the most rational direction would be to expound on the phylogenetic relationship between this traveler... Consider. You don't have a vision, but you can manipulate elemental energy. Following this line of thought, I'm sure we'll be able...
Not bad for a point of entry. But strictly speaking, slimes are elemental life forms. In other words, beings consisting entirely... A cryoregis vine, or even a wildflower might be a better analogy. But tracing back the phylogenetic relationships between plants, in that sense, things might get difficult.
Yes, sir. That sounds correct.
After all, we've got our primary data already. If it turned out that she did have a phylogenetic relationship with this world.
Ah, it would. Apologies. I was so excited to get the data. Speaking of data, to complete our research, we'll need some more. I'll be conducting analysis here for the time being. If you're keen for an
Great, I'll leave you to it. Looks like the potion's ready. I'll try a little. In line with my expectations. Ready to drink. Remember to keep calm at all times, and breathe deeply if you feel unwell.
Tasty? You've got a funny look on your face. You said you tried some already. You sure?
Oh, this was the result I was expecting. This potion channels elemental power into the body. But if the internal elemental flow is unimpeded, you'll only experience momentary...
So you knew you'd be sick and still drank some?
It was my own concoction, of course. Only natural for me. Perhaps it's just scholarly self-assurance, and it certainly speeds things up. In conclusion, I'd say we have our conclusion. As far as elemental energy is concerned,
Aw, Paimon wanted something cooler to happen.
then again, better an ordinary result than a peculiar result. Peculiar results have a... The good thing about ordinary is that everything is an object of reference, and everyone understands you. People are the same. They can understand, empathize, encourage, and support one another. When you're sick, a doctor can diagnose you because they are you. When something goes wrong, you can ask, but a peculiar person, they don't have much recourse. For example, a human can't understand the life of a pyroregisvine. Or, to sum up, this has been a positive outcome. Going forward, you can use your elemental power without... Timaeus, the results of the new experiment are out.
Just a moment, sir. I'll handle it. Oh, you gave me a lot to consider. Really stretched my... Having you down as an animal wasn't very precise of me. But starting with the...
Not bad. I think it's an interesting line of inquiry. Whatever the truth of the matter,
You can count on me, sir. I'll extract a result satisfactory.
Is he trying to join the Knights? What Paimon meant to say was...
Before we can proceed with our research, I need to... If you're interested, why not have a look around?
Here comes Albedo! I'm back. Did you see anything interesting? Not to worry. They're all for alchemical purposes. You'd be hard-pressed to find an everyday use for them. Well, on with the research. There may be significant differences between different worlds. Take Tevat, for example. Here, those with visions can manipulate the elements. But worlds may well exist where only one person is able to do so. Or even everyone. So, leaving elements to one side, do you possess any... I think answering this question calls for the same methodology as last time. In other words, no. You... Now, see this pillar here? Use your willpower to try and break it. That was your best effort? What's with the disappointment? Isn't that...
Have you tried using your elemental power with food? I don't mean for cooking as such. I'm curious to see how the taste and texture respond. It may even help. I suppose I have a curiosity for things that... Anyway.
Cooking? Paimon was looking forward to...
Not only is this recipe a staple for me, it's all...
Paimon bets you're just hungry. It does sound yummy, though. Okay, Paimon approves. Good buddies are...
I'll leave you to it then. Looking for... If there's anything left over.
Paimon doesn't think we'll have that problem.
are we gonna channel elemental power into the food? Maybe
That
try
was
the
fast.
willpower thing again. Where does he get these ideas from anyway?
I will make you better. How about a ghost story to go with the snow? Cool it!
That was As far as the proliferation hypothesis is concerned, we've come up short. Unless... Could it be that the natural laws of this world are
We just didn't know how to channel elemental power into the food. It's a little more complicated than adding herbs and spice.
Not to worry. At least we put some food to good use. No need to feel disheartened. And here's your portion. Enjoy.
Woohoo! Thanks! Glad you were paying attention.
I can tell that you're good friends. Paimon was keeping an eye on you and your safety during the whole experiment. Not that Paimon would have been able to do much if things had gone...
Hey! You were being nice a second ago! But you do have tasty recipes, so Paimon forgives you. And you're right, we are good friends. You have good friends too.
Yes. I'm fortunate too, I suppose. There are all manner of alchemical items here. Keeping them in their proper place is a challenge at the best of times. I managed to retrieve the majority, but 2 vials have been evading me.
Paimon's barely finished eating and you want us to go gathering again?
Don't worry if you can't locate them. I was planning to replace them anyway. Though finding them would save me the hassle. If you had, say, a superpower, like night vision or vibratory sensing, I must have dropped them somewhere in the area where you will look.
So, guess we'd better take a look. Oh yeah! You could use elemental sun. This must be electrohypostasis powder. The extract of an animo crystal fly can only be animo elemental energy.
Goodness, you managed to find them. I'm wondering,
This elemental site.
Yep. Guess it does sort of count.
Unfortunately, though elemental sight is seldom seen, it is not unheard of in Teyvat. Only a never-before-seen otherworldly power would be of benefit to my research.
You mean we failed again?
Don't be disheartened. This falls entirely within my expectations. Besides, I have to commend your deduction that the items would contain elemental traces. Right then. Up until now, our research has focused on your otherworldly identity. In essence, the differences between humans are reflected in our intellect, looking out from where we're standing. Can you see what Sucrose is? And if you jump from here and landed on that cliff, the one... So what about if you planted a single blow on the mountain face here, and it burst? Then I shouldn't get too excited. I know of a location that will be perfect for a physical test. Please.
Still in one piece. Good thing the vial's so strong. You want us to jump?
Not necessarily. Not if you know of a better method, that is. Whichever method you choose, the experiment will end when you reach the opposite shore of the lake. I will factor the time expended and your top speed into my comparative analysis.
The opposite side of the lake. So, we're gonna be swimming?
Without limitations, we complete tasks intuitively, using the method that seems most rapid. Some of us would be unable to stand the icy waters. Others might find the whole thing rather refreshing. No matter what choice you make, it's all a part of the experiment. For me, then if you would please, I eagerly await the...
Wait a minute! While we're busy testing, what exactly are you gonna be doing?
Me? Recording data, responding to risks, providing, emotional support.
So if we do decide to go swimming, you gonna dive in with us?
No. Unless you're thinking of conducting competitive research?
Oh! Forget Paimon said anything.
Great work. I've never seen Your reputation precedes you, traveler. The data shows that you're easily out...
But you followed us the whole way without breaking a sweat!
Me? Actually, I used alchemy to cheat a little. But anyway, if it turns out that the natural laws of Teyvat do not affect you, I should be able to make various inferences about the otherworldly civilization you belong to. If the natural laws of Teyvat do affect you, then I shall be able to make inferences into the kind of evolution that would... The innumerable possibilities that this could present, the captivating insights, it would be something to savor again and again.
But how does this help your research?
You've helped me to unravel many of the problems that were holding it back. When we return to the campsite, I may be about to make some analogies between you and a few unusual gold, petrified trees, a sun 8 times the size of our own. The essence of the investigative process is enthralling, But such feelings are inevitably fleeting in nature. I'm willing to pour all my energy into research, and yet specimens are fine. All these things that start out as objects of fascination end up possessing the prosaic mundanity of a sunsetia or a sweet flower.
Oh, so that's why you wanted to paint those hilly churros? Because you got to see something.
Precisely. To quote my exact words from earlier, these creatures are, for the most part...
So after all these experiments, are we gonna be, like, boring to you?
Of course not. You have been of great assistance to me, and I will remember this friendship for a lifetime. Now, before we head back to the campsite, there's one more experiment. Follow me. There are some other ruins nearby. I imagine you must have encountered more than a few conundrums during your travels. I'd like to observe your intelligence by means of a practical test of your capabilities. I'd like you to explore these ruins and return with your findings. There are 2 puzzles located at the far ends of the ruins. After completion, you should be able to act. As with the physical test, there are no restrictions. Everything you do, remember that this is a test of intellect. So should you get lucky in any way? So, let's see you in action. Start wherever... It's a complex environment, so proceed with caution. Sealy like these are a common sight in the mountains. Returning them to their rightful places is up to you.
Freeze! Catch the wind.
outlines your fate.
You're in for a little shock.
Cool it!
Windblade!
You're in for a little shock.
Dodge this! Oh, so sorry. Freeze!
Surrender and be gentle.
No, my sword! Be gone!
Come a little closer.
Dodge this!
Come a little closer.
Windblade!
It should now be possible to activate the central mechanism. Exactly what will happen when you do is something I'm looking forward to finding out. Oh, seems that the water level has suddenly decreased. We should be able to see what's in the water now. Let's have a look. What's this? To the best of my knowledge, these belong to a script of... There's still a lot to learn about them. Let me make a copy first. I'll make time to go over them in greater detail.
Another thing for the don't understand list. Seems like if you want the reward, you gotta pay the...
I've truly gained a lot from all this. Comparatively, the little reward I can offer is too small. Let me return to the campsite first. By the time you get back, I may just have a fleeting miracle for you to witness.
Paimon's kinda looking forward to seeing the... Unless you can think...
Not so fast. You're not leaving until I'm convinced that nothing...
You! You didn't...
I most certainly did not. And I've witnessed everything that you and Albedo have been up to. I must say, you let your guards down. Or maybe you were drawn in by his compelling-sounding hypothesis and friendly demeanor. Taking orders from a complete stranger? Drinking anonymous potions? I'd sooner believe you were tricked than that you would be so naive.
Sister Rosaria's guard's so high, she can't even see over the top of it.
It doesn't matter what you think. He could be a saint for all you know. I'm only concerned with one thing. Whether his alchemy...
No way! Paimon would have sensed it. And anyway, he didn't...
With an alchemist of his level, you wouldn't sense a thing. In any case, I'm not about to let a potential threat back into
So, what are you gonna do?
I've gotta hand it to you. You have your moment. I've investigated everything else. the only item.
But we don't even know what they mean.
That much is true. Not to mention, seems like there's nothing more to them. But for insurance purposes, I'd better make a copy. This is now then. All things considered, I deem that you, which is what I was hoping. I would have been one very unhappy sister if you'd made me work overtime.
Overtime?
Before we go our separate ways, Outlander, a word of advice. Don't be so quick to trust Albedo, and don't repeat the same mistakes that you did this time. You made a lot of rash decisions today.
She's gone! So Mondstadt doesn't have many people like that. Huh. Never mind her. Let's go see...
You're back. Good timing. You took quite a while. Did you get held up on the way? Time for the results. We got a myriad of data today, and it was very difficult. But the integral preliminary conclusion that I can offer you is...
You couldn't tell that just by looking? We spent all day working our butts off for that?
Please, I understand that this may have seemed self-evident to you, but in fact, nothing. Have you ever considered that the world of Tevat may have a natural hostility to Outlanders? I mentioned the natural laws of this world. You're able to converse with me here without consequence, and the only other life form that, like you, has come here from afar is the seed that I met. But after I observed you, I had imitating you help to inspire my alchemy. And so...
Whoa! It looks like something's appearing!
The transition from nothing into something, from shoot to stem, is not nurturing otherworldly life, also nurturing the world itself. It would seem that that's as far as we go. A transient bloom of incomparable beauty.
Paimon thought with all our efforts, it might have bloomed forever, and it didn't even have any fruit.
Life is a manifold tapestry of free entities. Its value shouldn't derive from how long it stays with us. Even a momentary burst is precious. A short life can be well lived. A life lived efficiently, lived to So, do you understand what I meant about us conversing here arguably being...
Things feel a little Don't be sad. You've got Paimon to look after you. Albedo, Paimon really wants to be your friend.
Thank you both. Even if dispelling loneliness is not essential for life, it certainly doesn't hurt. Your help inspired me to discover the means to make a flower bloom. I mean that the time I've spent traveling with you in the mountains was a valuable journey for me. In the future, if the need arises, well, glad I can count on you. I made a point throughout of telling her how ordinary the But what was that sediment I saw forming at the bottom of the Those born of earth are bound by its imperfections, but those born of chalk are free of impurity. If, one day, I lose control, destroy Mondstadt, can I rely on you to stop me?